Welcome. Hello trader, welcome back to another live session. Hope that the stream is on. Hello everyone, thanks for joining. Starting another trading session today in this NOI session, and I'm waiting for all the members to be seen here, to be shown. And thanks for joining. I absolutely appreciate your support to the channel. Before we begin, make sure you morning. Can I ask a few questions? Yeah, of course. Hello sir, welcome. Anyone can ask as many questions as you want. Make sure that you are not just spamming, but you know, the rest all good. We are really engaging here together to trade the market, to discuss, to develop the trading psychology, and to open the live trades as soon as it appears. I'm looking at gold now. If you look at, this is gold on a higher time frame as well as the lower time frame. Now gold is pretty bullish. We can see there is a significant trend in the market, and today's focus on gold and British pound US dollar. Also we can look at euro dollar as well as AUD USD. Yes, there are some news coming later on. If we look at the calendar, so tomorrow coming up few news, and also the after tomorrow. So dollar, GBP, AUD. So you can specifically focus on those instrument, three instrument: XAUUSD, British pound US dollar, and AUD USD. So primarily we will be first analyzing XAUUSD from the multiple time frame perspective, that if you look at here in this market. So looking at, have been trying to grow a cent account. Completely fine. You know, either you are growing a smaller account or a bigger account, and I would say that start with the small always. Okay, when you trade on a small, you get more room for error, and it's a great learning curve. Trading has a learning curve, and it's sometimes some traders quit in that learning curve. But if you keep the emotion in check and start with a smaller account, slowly build up, slowly grow up, you know, few times you might blow your account, that happens. But in that case, use a smaller account as a learning curve, and then once you grow as a trader, once you learn how to manage the risk, you can build a big account, and there's a big freedom here in this situation. So now we'll be discussing more in depth on the trading psychology. I like your teaching, thank you. You know, you just engage here actively for learning, growing. That's what it is, guys. Trading is fun, and when we engage together, we trade together, it becomes much more receptive, much more enjoyable. While if you trade alone, you know, without community, it's really hard. Okay, it's almost, I would say that very difficult to be a successful trader solely alone. Okay, it's very difficult. Trading is betting. No, trading is it's a very, what I would say that low requirement business, right? So you're gonna invest, you're gonna buy and sell. It's like if you have a supermarket or a grocery store, what do? You buy product, display, sell on higher price, make profit. Same thing, you buy and sell assets, instrument. Okay, that's what the trading is. So when you place an order, place a trade. So you are giving a per portion of your trading account on the market. So that means XAUUSD, gold against US dollar. So you're buying piece of gold and holding on to the market to go up to increase the price and then sell it and you make profit. That's the thing, right? So it's the simplest way. You are buying and selling gold here. In this, if you are trading gold, then you're buying gold, okay, or the currency. Okay, it's you can consider it like now you have a market, or if you don't have a market, let's say you are on a tourist spot where people travel from one place to the other place, okay, one country, one city to the other city, or one country to the other city. So if you're trading GBP USD, okay, so that means, or AUD USD, so you are buying and selling British pound US dollar or AUD against dollar, right? So now it's currency that you are buying and selling. Let's say you have a shop in front of an airport where the travelers has come and they need to buy some currency, right, for their travel time, and then you just bought when the market was down and then wait to sell when the market has gone up and you make profits. Simple way to know that how trading is. Okay, so that's the easiest way to understand. So that's all it is. So it's an asset or an instrument you're buying or selling. Okay, so selling here is that because it's contract for difference, so you're just investing on the directional bias. Okay, so you are buying if the market is going up, you're gonna sell it so your asset will increase in price. So now let's look at the market now at the moment with the live market. So once you see the live session, once you trade here in the live market, it will become much more easier for you to understand how it works. For the beginner, sometimes it's take a little bit of time, but if you dedicate it, allocate some time, it's easy. And that's what I was stating, that trading is only the thing that I found almost very smaller investment or capital that you need to become a trader. It's more of skill set rather than, so you need to have a good skill set disproportionately to your capital. Okay, so you need a very smaller capital but a high skill. So developing skill is the most important part in trading. So now let's look at the market. Now I'm looking at here, guys, on the daily chart, and then we will be also looking at other time frame, okay, other instrument as well. Now first of all, looking at the daily. All right, so gold is highly bullish, that you can see after the previous daily close as a bull candle. Today's market, from this support level, we can see that again there is a stronger breakout, which is showing the market potentially to remain upside here. Now from the multiple time frame, if you look at the monthly and weekly, it is significantly in an uptrend. Now when it is in an uptrend, okay, so what is going up is likely to go up. We are looking at, therefore, buying opportunity in this market, right? So anyone in sell, do you think that it's too high, too high price, thinking of selling? Let me start with the pool again. Pool was really helpful, and you'll see that it really works. So it's gonna help us to make some decision here. So I'm posting a poll. What is your bias today on XAUUSD? You see? Okay, so now looking at weekly market structure, that you can see it is a significantly bullish market structure. If you look at the daily also, you can see that it's a significantly bullish market structure. Now from the 4 hour here, that I am looking at the intraday, and there is a potential for, now I would like to draw the level of support with the previous sessions lows. Sessions highs are absolutely important, especially if you look at, if you're in an uptrend and then you look at the sessions low, it's crucial. Looking at the 1 hour again, this support level is vitally important, because from here we saw there is a new move begins. So there's one here, so you might think of Elliott wave, you know, smaller wave, middle wave larger, and the market got, in that case, other than this, we could look at this level for a breakup structure. But Elliott wave always, you know, will not play out. That's the only reliable thing that more often work out is the smart money move. Okay, so if you look at here in the lower time frame, you can see the market is breaking out, false breakout, right? That's where the key, that's where the secret. See how the market has done the false breakout. Okay, as we discussed yesterday as well, that observation is key. Paying attention, right? When there is attention, there is energy. Now if you look at here, what kind of observation you can make in this area here. Okay, the move that you can see will tell a story. So here, if you look at from here, a drop down, if you look at here, drop down. So what moves really makes a big difference in this zone here that we have drawn. Now looking at here, if you look at this move is identical, right? Other than this, no other move has such a significant impact in this whole directional bias. And how does this move happen? So when you ask a lot of questions, you start to see a clear picture. This move happened starting off this level to this level, and if you look at from this level to this level, okay, the market has significantly broken back below. And if you closely look at it, you see there is no any green candle formation along the way. It's one single move from this high to the low, and then immediately the market has returned back to the upside. So which is, if you look at, this is a move that had a significant contribution to this market to go back again to the upside. And this is a false breakout. Now what comment you can make out of it, that false breakout more often will be hitting a key level with a larger ATR candle. So you can note that down. Opposite, always look at the opposite direction of the trend. Okay, first thing. Secondly, look for the key level on the opposite direction of the trend to hit by larger ATR candle. That's a sign of false breakout. That works majority of the time, okay, regardless of anything else. So trend is the most important part, because if you look at that, you know, almost every strategy that I have as a trader, 70% would given to the direction of the trend. So trend, false breakout, then entry after you see there is a confirmation. Okay, confirmation doesn't mean that guarantee, but it's a high probability. understanding probability is very important as a trader. Keep in mind, guys, that this is where the key secret. All right, so now this is here at the moment how the market is building the momentum, which is potentially a bullish market structure. We might be able to find here, if you look at this, is 1 minute bullish price action, again a breakout, crossover of 10 and 20 EMA, and you can see this is a bullish alert here according to our indicator, which is the trade engine indicator, where the entry engine will, with this indicator also I can directly generate the trade alert. And now as we just started, I'm just a little bit of patient for an entry. So if we look at here, we will not be taking this sell trade, we will be only taking that buy trade for those who are using the engine, just explaining, because we want to take only trade in the direction of the major trend. That's where the key. We will be only considering the trade in the direction of the major trend. All right, so waiting on further confirmation here in this market for an entry. What else? So let's wait to see. I've just posted a poll. You can cast a vote to say that what majority of the traders thinking on that for. Okay, so now this breakup structure that you can see, we might be able to find a potential entry here. So if you look at, this is 15 minutes price action and it's candle closing, and this 15 minutes price action is also bullish. There is a doji. This is a potential and order block here in that area. So the market may respect this level and potentially to continue to create a new higher high, but it's still not entering yet. You want to see a significant pullback or breakup structure for us to be able to enter for here this move back to the upside, and we will be only taking the previous swing high if we enter after a significant break from this structure. Breakup structure is the key, as I mentioned, you guys. That's where it is. Wait for the trend, and then wait for a breakup structure, then entry when there is a false breakout. That means when there is a breakup structure and then entry. Keep in mind that when a trend begins, it doesn't end. It bends, but it doesn't end. That's not a reversal, that's a trend continuation. When it bends means that when there's a breakup structure, that's where the entry. We'll be waiting here for a potential entry, as if you look at, this is currently in an uptrending market structure. We'll be waiting to see the price to create a significant pullback or that breakout structure we are looking at for a potential entry. Okay, so if you look at here, the market slowly creating its structure back to the upside, and okay, so we see there are some if you look at here, it created this structure, and then the market slowly building its momentum back to the upside. We would like to see the descent break below, and if the market breaks this structure below here, we can take this potential move back to the upside for around at least to 50 pip or higher. But because there is a, if you look at a starting of an uptrend, now it's creating this ascending channel. We want to see the market to break from that ascending channel for us to be able to look for an entry to the upside. Slowly the market is breaking that high, and we might see that eventually the market to continue to rise back here to create a new higher high in this market. So looking at this price action where the market slowly, if you look at 10 and 20 EMA crossed over from each other, and with this 10 and 20 EMA crossed over from each other here, okay, with this crossover, as this is an uptrend here, doji, and this zone here is a high area of value. It's an important level where you can look for the market to break above and create a new higher high. So far it's showing that there is a high possibility this market to continue to rise back up in this market. Now the current 15 minutes candle, this one, see it's a very smaller candlestick pattern so far, and the current low here for this session is here. Okay, it's getting that rejection back to the upside here in this market, if you look at, and okay, this is quite significantly bullish that you can see, and with this bullish move, as there is a 10 EMA retest with a crossover from both of this level, the market may eventually break above here to create a new higher high. So it is creating a narrower, smaller doji. We would like to see this market to eventually break further below here, and breaking below from the structure is where you want to look at entry. Slowly breaking that low. Just looking at the higher time frame and the lower time frame, so to see that where the market is eventually heading back. So this is the 15 minutes price action. You might be able to find in and coming to a potentially a buy area. So I'm ready to enter if there is any trade here along the way. It's breaking out of the structure, and with that break of the structure we want to see the market to eventually cross this high here, and there's a 1 hour candle close coming. 15 minutes. I'll be waiting for one more drop before we look for possible buy here in this market. And Okay, so getting some rejection of that level if you look at, and it is coming back below to this support level here, and here's the bounce, and we could see the market to eventually here 30 minutes price action a bullish, so I might look for buying opportunity. What do you think? Share your thought and opinion here in the live chat. And I think we could look for an entry with a, if you look at here, it form a double bottom here, and I think this double bottom can give a possible break back to the upside. Okay, so it's getting very faster move here because it's a lower time frame market, and 1 hour candle close coming. If you look at with this 1 hour close, it's a bullish engulfer. So let the candle close, let the market prepare for this move. Okay, so if you look at the 1 hour candle close here, and this is the key now. Okay, so with this 1 hour bullish engulfer formation here, the market is from this support, this is a triple bottom here. If the market breaks this high here, goes back to the upside, we will be looking for entry. But with that break back to the upside, this is what you want to see the market to if you look at here, it has got rejected back below from that high here, right? So if it is now trending down, that's gonna be a reversal potentially. But if it bounce back up here, we will be looking at going back to this resistance line. So here I'm going to place a buy stop order, guys, above this level. If the market eventually breaks that high, we will be on this trade. Okay, so it's a buy stop order, stop loss below this low here, and we can set our first profit target at the top if the market goes up, and we can extend some partial move back to the upside here. So at the moment here, if we look at, okay, so we will be, because we can take the full profit for the bigger profit target, but at the moment the time is short because the market may just cross this high and continue to rise, or if it drops down, it may continue to trend down. So if it drops down, I will not be selling here because it's a long-term bull market. We'll see that where it is coming. If the market doesn't break this high, instead come back here, we might be able to find further entry later. At the moment, I'm using a buy stop order here at this level that we have shared. So buy stop order at 4733.40. I'll be placing the stop loss at below, so it's breaking below here. If it is breaking below, we'll let it break below. Will not be entering any trade on the downside. So though you see there is a downside momentum here, and this is a buy stop order that I'm placing. This is placed as a pending order here, and though the market has tested this level, there is a both directional bias possible. The market is still can come back below here and continue to drop down further lower, and if it drops, then we might see the market to coming back to this 1 hour 10 EMA. However, with this move, if the market breaks this level at 4721, we will be closing the pending order and we will be looking for the new entry here in that market, in that situation. So we place the pending order, waiting for the market to show up a potential entry, and so earlier trade, if you guys looked at, we have opened one position during the London session open, and I have shared both Telegram and the trade that we have opened during the London session. And so a quick overview of the trade shared in the London session time. So if you look at before the session open, this is the trade that I have shared also in the free Telegram. I have shared the link here, guys. Pre-entry, also I have sent a notification where the market breaks out from this trend, because all the entry that I take mostly from the breakup structure, because this is where the smart money really trade the market. This is where the smart money system works. When the market, when you see that there is a breakup structure, there is a high probability trade. If you look at from here, this is the market has gone back up here, created a significant pullback, and our entry is here. So if the market started to trend back up, we will be on the trade. Otherwise, we will be waiting to see how the price action is doing here. Market has gone in a sideways manner that you can see. So if the market breaks here, we will be on the trade. If breaks below, we are waiting for the price action to show up. So it's still not triggered the entry. We are waiting for that buy stop to be triggered. So if successfully the trade triggers, we will be waiting for the first move to happen at this level, and we might be able to, depending on the price action, half of the position for running for the bigger profit target. If we see weaker price action, we might be closing the entire in that area. So it's on a very narrow sideway movement that you can see, and in the narrow sideway market we will be waiting for the price to eventually break that low here to come back down to create a new lower low. So it's a very narrow area that you can see, and you might see the market to come back here to this support. If this market breaks this low here, we will be changing our pending order. The moment is still there because it might still can go back up, still can go, break back to the upside and continue to rise again to the upside here. I think that there is a potential for break to this 15 minutes 20 EMA. There's a higher potential if it breaks below to this level here. Market moves become a little slower here, so because there is a session open coming and you're progressing towards the NOI open in few minutes, and here before the session open we can see there's an imbalance here, and the market may try to break that low to fill that imbalance. So our pending order here, if it doesn't trigger the pending order, we will be waiting for the market to break potentially this low here in that area. I'll still keep the pending order there at this level, but if the market entirely breaks below here, then we'll not be using the pending order anymore, and we'll be using the new location for an entry. The market became a little bit slower in its movement, but we might see that eventually that's a sign of further breakout here in this market. So if you look at here, you can see series of lower high formation, and that series of lower high eventually could bring that market back below here in that area. So that's a key support level. Getting a liquidity sweep here. Okay, slowly it didn't test this order block yet here, and in the meantime, while we are looking at this trade, also traders, I'm looking at the previous trade during the London session open we have executed. Now, how many of you were on this trade? Can you say in the live chat if you were here? So I have shared some information before the entry, the pre-entry call. Okay, so now very simple way to trade with the session open, guys. This is the secret. If you look at here, you can see the market is maintaining that series of higher low, and with this series of higher low, there is a break of that trend line. Now this trend line, if you look at, has broken with a stronger momentum, and a break of this trend line is significant, especially with the session open. And if you see that before the session the market was in a trend, and with the session there is a break of structure, the market eventually, more often you see the continue with this trend, and that's where the call was. And the market has made, in fact, significant move off that level. We didn't take that big move, but I have taken significant amount. I have already shared all those trade information. Also, I have sent that call in the Telegram for us to trade. Okay, so this is how we can always look for the entry for a better trading opportunity. I trade my own fund, and I like to trade from day one. Okay, while I have a strategy that I can consistently grow. Okay, I've updated the journal also in the premium group. So 2026 we are at this level here, and when I can trade consistently. Okay, why should I wait for so long? Now today's trade, 20th of January. Now we see the market is slowly breaking below in that area, and okay, now as the market has reached that level, we will not be looking at this pending order. It in fact has dropped a lot, that you can see. getting that low. Okay, so here with this move, we'll be closing the pending order. The market has significantly broken back below. It's still bullish. We'll be readjusting our entry. So I've closed the pending order. We will be replacing the entry. Trigger is closed. And now we see that the previous session created this 4-hour. This session, the current low is here. Okay, here is the move, and all right, so where we are looking at now, this is the current support level. We might be looking for an entry by market, as if you look at it has entirely broken below. Okay, so in this area here that you can see the market from this high it has got rejected below here. Now we are looking at, guys, for high probability entry, wanna see the market has tested this support level in that area. Okay, so looking at here for this market to give us further entry, and as if you look at here, you can see the market tested this shadow here, and now with this move, as this market slowly creating its downside move, okay, so now the session's low is here. From the intraday, there is a back-to-back 2 sessions move. Currently, the market is on a pullback here. We are looking for an entry after this break. So if you look at here, you can see after this green candle, this green candle here is a bullish engulfer. Okay, so that bullish engulfer, that if you look at, okay, that's a bullish engulfer, and with this bullish engulfer right here, the market eventually should be breaking to the upside. Instead, it is started to break below. That means there is a higher chance now this market to break that hourly low and then to revert again back above here in that market. So Okay, so of this support, the market slowly trying to push that back up, and here's the previous session's level that you can see the market at. Welcome. Now it's still the market is in this downtrend here in this after this significant move back to the upside, looking at this price action to eventually break that low, potentially to come back here any of this to this any of this key level of support here in that market. So the goal here for us is to enter from the, you know, if you are buying from support from an overextended or oversold market, where we can look for buying. Do you use RSI? Do you use any kind of indicator? What kind of indicator you use? RSI. Okay. Anyone else different? Anything do you use anything different? For reversal, okay. Anyone has any different RSI, Bollinger Band, moving average, okay. Bollinger Band is also you know, all indicators, keep in mind that, guys, all indicators are lagging indicators, okay, except ATR. ATR is not a specific kind of indicator, but it's very effective in terms of understanding how much the market has overextended. But when we look at the indicator, the moving averages are that I use 10 and 20 MA. Moving averages give us more of how far the price from the mean value. RSI is a very popular indicator, okay, it's very because of the oversold, overbought, understanding when the market became oversold and overbought. But in fact, you'll see that it may not be effective if you use only overbought or oversold for your entry criteria, right? Because when the market become highly bullish or highly bearish, even the RSI in an overbought or oversold, it just keep moving in one direction. The best form of trading is that when you combine few confluences together, okay. Fibonacci, have you ever used that? Okay, so the Fibonacci for the pullback, especially the higher time frame when you use the Fibonacci. How about the Fibonacci? Have you ever seen that Fibonacci like that? Okay, that's also the Fibonacci. So you can see it especially in the nature, right? It's called the nature's code. So the golden ratio, if you look at the 61.8, which is the golden ratio, right, is Fibonacci for entry. In a trending market, if you look for the pullback, okay, that's it may not always work out, especially if you look at here. You can see that this is a, let's say the market is trending and you found a move pullback to the 50% or 61.8% move, again pull back again from that 61.8%, another move, and at some point you see the market tested the support, bounce off that level. With confluences of RSI, price action, and SNR. Yeah, so as long as you have an edge, you're okay. Okay, so having an edge is very important. You know, whatever time frame or strategy you are trading, you will be okay with that. Having an edge means that if you take multiple times, not one trade, not two trades, probably 10, 15, 100 trades, you remain in the profit zone. If you can identify the trend and then wait for the edge to come to you, that is where the best setup comes in play. Now at the moment we can see that there was a significant trend earlier in the market, and then the price, with this trend, after the trend, the price has got entirely now in that area, became a little slower, moving potentially in a sideway. But with this sideway movement, we can expect this market now eventually have a trending move, have a breakout, and this is what we are looking at. Now this is a very crucial level that you can see, because this is the 4-hour support, strongly uptrend. From the 1-hour perspective, the market may break that low. Below this level, below 4721 is high area of value. Breaking below can give us an entry opportunity for at least short-term move back to the upside here. I'm waiting for the market to potentially break that low for us to be able to bounce, or to be able to see the market is going back to the upside here in that area. Slowly creating a series of higher low, and I think there is still potential for a downside, otherwise you look to buy here. So we are looking at the sessions open, NY session opening. So we are looking to enter with session open. All right, so patience is key, guys. I know that sometime takes little time for an entry, especially the market needs to trend, needs to be able to have volume in the market. So if you look at this, is the doji on the intraday, the market in that doji, it's getting back to the upside here, and little drop in volume which is basically a potential preparation for the session open. And with the session open, if the market suddenly drop back down here, we will be looking at bullish entry. It's a very slower move, but eventually that could bring back to the upside, or after a breakout structure you can look for an entry. I'm prepared with the lot size calculator, which is also very important, guys. If you are opening, make sure you use specific lot size calculator, or you calculate the lot size using any external app or anything, so that you are not, over risking on a single trade, which is very important to look at. All right, so here is that the market in this area crossover. There's a crossover, yeah. So there is an alert shown, but I'm still waiting for the candle close, and not taking it yet, because you want to see that the market has broken back below for us to look for that entry. And Okay, so we have a few minutes for this hourly candle to close, and the market structure showing that there might be a bullish confluence here. With a double top here. Showing bullish confluence here, and so if you look at the 1 hour support is here. If you enter, you want to enter from a breakup structure, and it got little slower move that you can see here in that area. And okay, so there has been a breakup structure that you can see in this area. This is what I was talking about. There could be a stronger breakup structure, and now after it creates enough false breakout, we are looking for a potential entry in this market. And okay, so from this support level, the market is slowly trying to break back to the upside here in that market. Now, breaking that low, potentially we might be able to find an entry after deeper pullback here. Now there is a false breakout. This move can even be in this direction for deeper. We'll see that which way favoring us mostly for short-term move, but the trend is always our first move that you want to take. If you look at, this is the 15 minutes chart. Since the crossover, there wasn't any significant retest of this 20 EMA, and the market is eventually coming from that level back below here. Okay, the market tested the lower shadow and the possibility here for short-term downside that we can see. Trying to break below. That is where you can see the market. This price eventually can break that support, and as there is a sessions open, breaking below here can give us, if you look at the 4-hour as well, potential entry opportunity. And I'm not fan of trading against the trend, though we see there is significant rejection of that level, but I'm looking at for potential trend directional move. We'll be placing a pending order again above this here once the market shows significant pullback in that direction here. Welcome guys, welcome back to this live session. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you again for tomorrow's session as well. Today still there is a long way to go, so don't miss out. We will look for an entry in this market. Every day I'm coming on live during this time to trade the market, to learn the strategy, as well as to discuss more in depth on developing the trading psychology. If you enjoy this session, make sure you like the stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Now at the moment we are in a very crucial level of support, but until we see a clean move of the direction of the trend, waiting for the market to show up to give us proper entry in this market. Here smaller bearish. The reason I'm saying smaller is because the long-term trend is bullish. This market at any point can turn back again to the direction of the trend. I'm waiting for this price to create a new lower low, as there is a higher low. Expecting a new lower low before it eventually bounce off this level. Okay, so the nearest support is here. And off that support, of the support you want to see breaking below, and then to give us potential break back to the upside here. And once it prepare for a reversal, we could see straight going back up here to this resistance line. You guys ready for an entry? Okay, it's getting a potentially creating a double bottom here, and this is the first candle of this session. I'll be looking for entry shortly in this market for this potential upside here, and so I'll be opening a trade here buy market, keeping stop loss well below this here, a buy trade. It's gonna be nearly to 60 pip stop loss. Keeping the stop loss at $4726.17. Stop loss placing at 4720.00 and TP target placing at 4735.32 level. And this is a buy market trade. So as there is a new, if you look at this 15-minute candle closing, and the market has tested the lower part of this. So this is a 20 EMA, expecting it to have potential rejection of this level, as there is a 15-minute candle closed, and from the 4-hour that you can see this is a long-term bullish market structure. So we had a bit of gap here from this support. This pattern that you can see had a significant imbalance in that area. Looking at a potential bounce back to the upside. See that move. So the my entry here a little lower. I think you guys also will be similar. So we are on a buy trade on gold, and my entry here is 4724.28. Okay, so and stop loss at this level. So it's a very tight stop loss. Here I have only 43 pips stop loss, and if you have entered, can you share your entry? That means what level is your entry? What level is your entry? You can share that on the live chat. Very tight stop losses, you know, that I put a significantly tight stop loss for, in case not going in my favor, I will be exiting. Okay, so for 725, anyone has a different entry? Could see breaking 4729, and okay, getting rejection, which is a good sign of the market to have an upside bias here. All right, so you want to see going back to 4729? Okay, so far we are on the profit area, and there is a potential for move. Awesome, got a back. A reaction from here. Okay, so there is a liquidity sweep. This is a strong liquidity grab, and that's a very stronger liquidity grab. It just has tested the lower shadow, could eventually kind of interesting. If we get that back, if we get that okay, so here is Okay, we are out. There's a this is entirely a false breakout in that area that you can see. Now because there is a false breakout, you know, I always keep the very tight stop loss, so you can again look for the recovery trade shortly after. This is entirely break below, but at the moment, because there is a, if you look at the 4 hour, it might now eventually come back to test this support here. All right, so it might come back below this support here again for another retest. We'll be waiting to see how far it goes. Okay, so tested the 10 exponential moving average from the 1 hour, and this might be, if we look at here, there still be possibility for this market to eventually break back to the upside, and I'm still for a bullish move potentially to see the market is, this is the 15 minutes candlestick pattern. It's entirely broken back below. All right, so here is to look for our potential entry. We would like to see that the market tested that lower shadow. This can be a very important level that we can look for possible further entry back to 4733 level. And so there's a narrow doji here, guys. So in this area is with multiple narrower, longer red candles formation here. Until we see that it prepared for a reversal. still there is a possible downtrending move here in that market. Okay, so here the market structure so far is still showing possible further downside, but the long-term trend here is bullish. So I'm looking at still to trade in the direction of the trend, right? This is where the key to look at, to trade in the direction of the trend, even the trade is not going in your favor. But once you trade in the direction of the trend, the major trend is bullish. Here we can see what I would say, this is a significant pullback here, and the lower time frame trend, the 1 minute trend here is in that area downside. But at any point you see that the market had a potential reversal back again to the upside to create a new higher high in the major direction. Okay, so there is a candle closed on 15 minutes, also the 30 minutes. Now, this is where I'm preparing for possible further entry on a this structure in that area, showing that there is further 30 minutes 20 EMA here, and we see that there is a larger red candlestick pattern, and all right, so patience is sometimes requires a lot when, especially when you're looking at that's a breakout. You can see it's eventually has broken back to the upside. This is what happened. This is what the market again revert back again with a stronger bounce. Now it entirely broken back to the upside here. Straight bounce to the resistance line. There might be some up and down now here for a deeper liquidity trigger, and now if you look at here, you can see this is a pretty longer bullish rejection of this level, right, on gold, and therefore this market has triggered liquidity from here and also from there, both direction. Is this going to form a reversal to go back up here? Showing still downside. That's very interesting to see that the market structure is still showing downside. There might be further deepen, but there is still showing the potentially for another downward pressure in that market, and especially in this situation the patience is key. Okay, so here it's creating a slowly a bullish bias price action as the long-term trend is bullish, and therefore with multiple candlestick pattern formation to the upside, we'll be looking at potentially bullish entry shortly after, once the market breaks out of this level. And we might see a breakout here. There's liquidity in that area. significantly large move, and okay, so here is this market is in a consistently in a bullish trend that you can see at the moment, and with a liquidity sweep in that area. So lower time frame trend can maintain its uptrend here in that market. Okay, so here it gained momentum, again another false breakout, and in this area I will be looking for entry for a potential upside bias here for this move back to the upside with a tight stop loss again, keeping our first TP at this level, and then later we can adjust accordingly if needed. I'm looking at buy and stop loss placed at 4725. So I'm long on gold again in that area for this potential bounce. Stop loss at 4725 and TP target 4735.32. If we need, we can adjust accordingly later for further adjustment, as the market has created quite a few false breakout here, expecting it to trend in that direction, as there is a significant imbalance in this market here. Awesome, very good. Okay, so we are running this trade and we are running this buy trade. We want to take this one to further so that we can take significant profit with this trade to the previous one. Alright guys, you're with me? So yes, in the live chat if you're with me. If you look at the lower time frame here, you can see this is a so far bullish market. There is significant also imbalance to the upside here in this market, and if we can successfully close this one here, we'll be on this trade. Awesome. We want to see one more bounce back to the upside so that we can have with this one closing successfully in profit. We will be up with today as well. In our London session we had one trade that successfully closed. Here we'd like to see the market to eventually, if you look at here, here, and this is at support, again false breakout. Market will always have the liquidity sweep. Okay, so now it's getting that reaction back in that area where you can see the price is slowly building that momentum, and would like to see it's getting that momentum back to the upside here. And we are in profit, but we want to take that move further upside. Cool. If it successfully break above properly, it's gonna even cross this previous high, because this market had a very stronger false breakout here. It had a momentum, and I would like to see that it's going back to create potentially a new higher high. and we are on it. All right, so some reaction that you can see from here. Cool. There's a reasonable move. We want to see that this one is closing as a narrow red candle or a green candle. Then the next candle could eventually break to the upside. Ready to take that move? Okay, going to profit nearly there, and it's now around 48 to 50 pip. It's gonna be 56 pip if move properly back to the upside. Awesome, profit target hit. Might need to close manually. Come on, TP hit. So it's our trading, guys. Sometimes you have to keep up sometime. So this one has nearly to 57. Okay, so now what is the logic? Now let's understand the logic, the strategy, what is the trade is about, and why we took the trade, and guys, how you can use this strategy to learn, to grow, to become a successful trader. Quickly going through the logic before we go to any further details. But before I go to the logic, guys, make sure you join the Telegram. I do share offline trades also in the Telegram, and also if you are in the Telegram, anytime you might be able to access the premium membership of the academy. Well done. So you can join the Telegram for regular updates, trade ideas, signals, and also sometimes the premium membership offer is given on the pre-Telegram. Now the next thing that here, if you look at the logic, the strategy, now the first entry that we had here, okay, so what happened that it creates significant imbalance and the market has crossed that low. But what we have seen that in this area, this is a very stronger reversal. And if you look at both of my trade that I opened bullish, you see that, okay, I didn't sell. Why? Because I could sell this market off this level, right? But what happened that if you sell after a little bit of move, the market reverse again. But see the buy potential of buy here, okay? When it is going in the direction of the trend, it's keep going, right? That's why always trade with the trend. That's the best strategy, okay? Trade with the trend and you will never be a losing trader. If you do the risk management, of course, you need to do the risk management. You need to keep some edge for the next trade and next trade and next trade. And now it's keep pushing back to the upside. Gold is highly bullish. We saw that there was a multiple liquidity sweep. The market is prepared for potentially another move in that direction. That being said, it is an incredibly great session with all of you guys. We traded together, we made good return here. And tomorrow again I'm coming on live to trade the market with all of you. Now here, if you look at the calendar, all right, so tomorrow significantly important day for, you will see that tomorrow coming up GBP, okay, CPI, and after tomorrow, that means tomorrow, it's not after tomorrow, it's because of the in my zone. So there are some significantly important news coming. Now news is important because where the market becomes volatile when there is a news. All right, that being said, thanks for joining here, and I will see you again in the next live session we will be doing together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.